Okay, today what I want to show you how to do is create a sort of, I suppose, sort of a Chinese style inspired round bookcase. But I want to try and make it into a multifunctional object. I'm going to go straight away with the rectangular sort of square tool, and I'm going to design out the dimensions. I'm going to type these in before I click away. 1200, comma, 200. And I'm going to push pull this up 1400. I'm going to draw a line here which is 200, and when I draw this line up here, it should hopefully hit this green point, which is the end of that line I've just drawn. Okay, this is going to become the base, as you can see in the other one. I'm going to draw a midpoint and a midpoint on the front face. I'm going to then use the circle tool. And the reason I do this is that I find my perfect center here, and I'm going to leave the middle line in. At this point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push pull away the things that I don't want, and I'm going to do that to this line here, to this point, to the edge, it says. And use that magnetic, or the fishing line with the magnet, as I like to call it. Okay, and you can see it's that like line with the, first of all, the line with the red square, and then it becomes a dot. I had this before. I'm just going to get rid of that. It doesn't affect the solidity of the shapes at all. Okay, so we've got this shape here. What I want to do first of all, to make it a bit different and a bit like, let's say, a bit more multifunctional than the other one, I'm going to make this a bit more interesting. I'm going to draw a middle line here, and you could in theory just, you know, use the offset, which is this. Well, I'll do that on the top bit anyway. What I'll do up here is I'm going to just draw a line across. I'm going to make this slightly more interesting, slightly more multifunctional, and I'm going to just draw a line along here, out to 10. So if you see here, I've just drawn a line along here which is out to 10, just there, look. So that's 10 millimeters from there to there, and I'm going to use that as an anchor point for pushing and pulling. So let's do some push pulling, but first of all let's make a little kind of outline or offset, and we're going to make that 10 as well, and I think I will do this at the top as well, 10 as well. Alright, I'm not going to do that at the bottom just yet. You're going to see what I'm going to do at the bottom, which is just to make this a bit different, to make this a bit more interesting. I'm going to use push-pull, and I'm going to actually select this face here, and I'm going to push-pull this back to that point there, to that end point. You can just about make it out. And it's maybe easier if I zoom in a bit. Yeah, you can see that it's just off of the back edge, so that means that this has got a thickness of 10 all around. If I go to the scenes, if I go to the styles, and I can do wireframe style. I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, still thinking a bit about it. Okay, so if I go to default styles, and if I go to the wireframe, yeah, just thinking a bit about it, then you should be able to see that thickness behind. See that? That thickness there. Okay, it's going to go back to the default style. And I'm happy with this so far. What I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to actually change this a bit so that you could use this not only as a bookshelf but maybe as a desk. How am I going to do this? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make space for the legs, and I'm going to do this maybe a little bit creatively with a 2-point arc, and just have it going in. Let's see if we can get this to go in like this. Now you can just carry on doing offsets and so forth, but I just want to maybe make this a little bit more so you can actually use it as a bookshelf and also as a working area. I haven't measured those exactly, but what I am going to do with them now is I'm going to push pull them away. Okay, so let's push pull them away, and I'm going to do those to the very back, to the very edge. This now kind of becomes some sort of a more interesting shaped object. I'm going to delete away this line here, and let's delete it from there as well. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use another offset. I'm going to pretend that this is like very well secured down at the bottom through a piece of sheet metal. So I'm going to use the offset again. And if it likes it, I'm not sure how well it will do. It's a bit confused. There we go. 10. And I'm going to push pull that back to my point again. Or you can have this as drawers. Have this. I'm going to put this actually as like little storage units. So you have a kind of a really odd shaped but kind of interesting shaped drawer there. And let's just do a center line. There we go. And I'm just going to draw a doorknob along that center line. So this kind of looks a bit more like it. That's what it's for. The whole point of doing this is that you have something which really looks, without a shadow of a doubt, you use a push pull to pull this out. Without a shadow of a doubt, you can tell what these bits are for. Now this is, I put this gap in here so that people can actually sit down and put their legs through it. Okay, you can have the bottom bit as a drawer as well, but I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm just going to actually make this a bit more interesting. How am I going to do that? I'm going to select this line, I'm going to select this line, and I'm going to select this line, not that line, and that line. I'm going to copy that by pressing Ctrl and C, and I'm going to paste it over here, and there we go. Okay, so this is just an outline at the minute. What I want to do is make this into just a very short shelf. I'm going to go from that point to that point, and that suddenly turns this into a profile, closed profile. I just want this bit, and that saves me all the hassle of trying to measure it, which I did before. I'm going to make this a thickness of 10, because that's what the thickness is of the other things. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make this a component by right clicking after selecting it, make it a component. Okay, doesn't matter what you call it. And I am going to just place this by using the move tool, grabbing it very bottom left hand corner. And I just have to use the shift button when you're using the roller mouse button, it's really helpful. And just corner to corner, and that's done. Now you can in theory rotate this down so it looks like it's like a table or a desk attachment coming down, and basically you can actually sort of like have this as an animation coming down as well. I'm not going to do that today. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to color this in by selecting everything, and I'm going to go to wood veneer, same one, and there you go. That is actually how you can make either a sort of a Chinese inspired round bookshelf or a slightly more multifunctional unit. You could put in lights as well up here, which makes it also more functional. Maybe you could put an organizer in here, but as you can see, this is something which you can have as both a storage unit and also as a working space. Okay, alright, I hope that's been helpful. Thanks for watching, and keep watching for new videos.